Entering level 7. I do need to check how good the dagger is without the venom. Attack power 7. It's fine. But it's not particularly good. Does it charge when you're not using it? Oh, fuck's sake. The button. Doesn't look like we can open this from this direction. At least not without some kind of trickery. Mr. Moo gained a level. Very resistant to cold. I don't think these guys care about magic too much in general. Not even physical damage. Tattered cloak. I discovered that if you open all but one door, the one where the draft is strongest, a wall slides right open. I'm going to leave some provisions there to lighten my load. Right. Open all doors except one where the draft is strongest. Where is the draft strongest? It should be on the edges. I mean, if you have a, let's say, a house here and you have a lot of doors, it should... Basically, I think pretty much the last one you open. I'll have to see what the place looks like. Maybe there's a audio indication or something. So basically, you don't have to overthink this. It should be obvious. Don't think, just look at our options, then see how to use those. Fairly resistant to physical damage. Okay, Mr. Moo, let's see what you got. Thrust. Powerful attack that pierces in armor. Plus 5 health. Right, there's a billion of you. Running low on energy, but that's not too big of a problem. Now we're starting to use energy with the fighter too. He never had all that much energy. He could use a buff boost at this point. But everyone has experience. Hmm. Can I close doors? Hmm. So fighters are reliant on energy too, but not until they get the better specialty moves. I wonder if waiting in the sleep mode uses up more food than just basically resting a little bit. It doesn't matter too much. Want to create a long line of open doors for the draft. Except for the one Maze of Shadow. There has to be more than these. Still there's 4 doors. I discovered that if you open all but one door, the one where the draft is strongest, a wall slides right open. It was in these 2 rooms though, and they seem to have a unified system here. Draft would be the strongest, I guess, the closest to the entrance. Ring Reeves. Weaker than what we have. Battle Axe. Not using axes. So not bad stuff, but at the same time not particularly interesting stuff. Again, more important that you sort of figure out what you need to do. Maze of shadows. So shadows are the key. Or light in general. Do we follow the light or do we follow the shadows? The torches remain out of my grasp. I try to reach for them, but the light they shine plays tricks on me. We do have the spell to... right. Spell to kill light. What did I try to cast? Make it balance death. Missed. But we would have to get closer. Right. Scroll of Darkness. Balance death. How close do we need to get? But it just isn't gonna do anything. If I can go any closer, it'll just teleport me. Right. Not exactly too complicated of a system, but can't do anything. At least we understand the basic principle of how things work. Everything in shadow is safe. Everything in light is weird. Not necessarily a teleportation at the beginning though. That's just things that have happened so far. It sort of looks like we might not be able to get out of here unless we figure something out. But we did. It's such a large maze though, so you'd have to think there are other places you can go, especially here. There's a teleport there. Trying to look for buttons. Something that could potentially shift the or allow us to move across areas we normally couldn't move. If we go any closer, it's death. Darkness doesn't really... yeah, it's nice that they teach you the darkness spell, but it doesn't really help. You'd have to get so close that... actually, I wonder... yeah, the torch doesn't work here. Probably for obvious reasons, so you can't screw yourself over. Although I did cast darkness, so it probably affected my own torch as well. Well, I don't recall going here. Heartstone bracelet. Protection plus 1, 20% higher attack power, 20% slower cooldown. Warrior bracelet. I think that's death. Or teleport rather. It's another teleport? Maybe? Getting rid of that wouldn't really help us in any way. I think it's safe to say that we got most of it. If there's something still here, you would have to just turn down some lights. I don't know how to do that. Do have two paths. A lot of food. Might as well eat. Not exactly too useful, but no harm in here. How the fuck do you get to the teleporter? Maybe not every light is the same. This is definitely a teleporter. We gotta go there. I basically try to figure out what light sources we have tried. How would you get there? This is no good. It's a spell, but it doesn't really do anything. Right. That source of light would need to go. I don't have a solution to that. Maybe once you move past this area the light doesn't matter anymore. I've never actually walked into the light there though. But doesn't seem to do anything. Might as well just move on. No. I've missed one obvious option. The giraffe. Maybe we can basically open up all the doors so some of the draft will blow up some of the torches. We didn't do that because we wanted to keep one of them closed, but we've already have the secret, so why not open up as many of these as possible. They could also maybe closing them. I'm not sure which one would be more helpful for us here. Would it make a difference? I would assume the difference would be at one torch blown at most. I don't see a difference. Maybe I should close all of them, because that's the least likely thing to happen. That you come here and haven't opened any of the doors. It's pretty much impossible. I'll try it. It would direct the draft somewhere else. Or make it strong enough that it blows up the torches. Either way, we're moving on. I don't think it made any difference. Still, I don't think the idea was bad either. Could I use my own torch to counter these? No. Guess the shadow theme might continue here. So maybe we need to shut that down. It's close enough that I might be able to do it. No, we need to shoot... Get that to shoot here. Right. The vault. Bracelet of Tyrion. Protection, faster cooldown of all actions. Faster spellcasting. I do love the fact that just randomly jumping into a pit is a smart thing to do in this game. I took damage. Maybe it wasn't this. Yeah, I think I would prefer the light. Had to go and cast it. Right. Shit. Time to go and rest. There's gonna be more of them. Guess I should be safe. Not sure, I don't think I can heal myself as long as the poison is there. At the same time, I seem to recall it has not that long of a duration with the slimes. So we can just wait it out. At the same time, it's not like, yeah, it's already running out. I was initially thinking of just throwing a rock on the plate. Because, yeah, they're always traps. Diviner Cloak. Evasion, energy regeneration rate plus 20%. Yeah. Probably would be good for a fighter too, but I may just have a more use for it. Fighter can still do decent damage without the energy. Mage can't do shit. Right. I should have jumped in there. Probably leads to the same place I already was, so I don't think I've lost too much. Look at... fuck. Yep, looks like a fuck. Fuck. It's getting a bit dangerous now. Daggers. Flurry of slashes. A deadly chain of attacks that shred enemies to pieces. Death strike. I don't see why we shouldn't go full in with the daggers here. You obtain the power to cast spells. Increase the efficiency of air spells as you advance in the skill. Does it mean the greater lightning bolt, or does it mean the skill point directly makes the spells do more damage? I don't know. Either way. Energy. Plus 10 energy. Plus 1 willpower. 50% faster casting, spell casting. So the next level up. Right. As I've said, I have no complaints about the spell powers, it's just I can't cast enough. Need to trigger that. Open that. Ah, so it works a bit differently. Come on, come on. More slimes. Ah, not really dangerous. Annoying though. Okay, there's at least a couple of slimes still here. I miss anything. These are often blocking these gray things. Gratings. Wonder if there's a reason for that. I recall the tentacles coming up from there, so maybe it's not an accident that they're being piled up. Ah, more slimes. As long as we survive, doesn't really matter, we can easily restore ourselves. Ooh. It saves the game. I think there's probably some kind of challenge where you have to rely on these crystals only to make through the game. That would make sense. Basically not load otherwise. Fire torque. Fire resistance plus 50. Well, it's better than the poison resistance we have currently going. It's an amulet. Cold resistance. Yeah, that's really been a thing so far. I think I'll mark these crystal locations from now on. It's just because resurrecting might be a thing that becomes a common, much more common than it has been so far. have the luxury of quickly moving around. And you get a level up. Right. Willpower. Oh, fuck. Improve combat casting. It's 50% faster casting. Again, we're gonna use this to heal. I don't think so. So only one guy took some damage. Might as well just drink a potion. That's why we have the herbs. Shaman staff definitely goes to you. Energy plus 20, requires spellcraft 7, willpower plus 2, earthbound, poison bolt and poison cloud spells deal more damage. Well, thanks a lot. Still, it's a bonus to our casting. Scroll invisibility. Okay, we need to shoot another one. Oh, we already did. There have been people in these hallways before me, but when I went through this place here, it seemed like I was the first to open all the doors and press all the buttons. There have to be some people who oversee the dungeon. Indeed, there has to. Another teleporter thing. You'd think it just goes the other side, but yeah. Basics first. Right, that did not go well. We weren't exactly in top shape to begin with. I think it fires more the closer you are to the other end. So One here, maybe two there, three there. Or one for every button you press. Either way, we're in a bit of a bind. Boots of Valor for the armor. Plus 15 protection versus plus 6. We disabled the traps. Right, we can't do it this way. The moment we flip this switch, we're in a bit of a bind. It's not like these stars are gonna stop shooting when I go there. They're just not gonna shoot when they attack us. This is probably the best place to fight against them. The numbers are the big problem. Yeah, there seems to be some kind of Valor equipment set. We might be able to use the poison to kill them too, but I doubt that'll work. I think I'll just screw myself over. Come on, come on. Is that it? We fared fairly well. Right. Wait a minute. Nothing out of the ordinary. No major opponents. Some kind of puzzle room. Torch running out. Yeah. Fuck. 1, 2, 4, 5. 5 switches. Right. All at up position. The problem here is not necessarily that this switches could be very complicated, is that I don't even know what it could potentially do. Hello. 0 points of damage. Well, this is as harmless about an opponent as you can get. They just can't do shit to it, but other than that. Actually, the skulls the ogre is carrying is sort of reminding me that I'm supposed to be a headhunter with the Minotaur, but honestly, I've found one skull in the entire game so far. It's just seemed like a wasted trade to take if that's all you can basically get. I'm sure there are more skulls than the one, but that's pretty weak. I mean, you can find human remains, you have catacombs and the like, but you can't collect skulls. It's too restrictive to be all that useful. At the same time, I'm not sure what I should have taken. Some resistances wouldn't have hurt. Those are the biggest problems damage-wise. You just can't tank them. Evasion might, but protection, no. What is this? Fish shield. 2 heavy shields. Probably have a backup shield somewhere. Right. There's no way to open the door. I'm guessing that's what the switches are there for. Health regeneration, food consumption rate, strength. Seems like a fighter's item. Not even hints what to do. I mean, with the switches. They were all in the upright position when we started. Uh, Assassin's Dagger. Attack power 12, speed 20. Attack power 15, accuracy plus 10, speed 17. Successfully drains life from target and heals you. Required skills in Dagger 10. Okay, I think we can throw this away at this point. So it has nothing to do with the puzzle. Great. What exactly are we supposed to do then? Pick the correct place to fall down? It's this every... Right, it doesn't matter what we pick, it's always gonna be the wrong place. There are switches. I don't see any probable buttons. I think it's basically we'll save here and take a look. See if we can spot something. Load. See it again. Yeah, this is gonna be just a waste of time to always drop down here. Well, at least I think I know what I need to do. Can't move from here. Ah, that actually went quite well. New places, maybe. Nope. Maybe we need to throw something there. Don't see how we're supposed to get over. Right, let's see what our options are here. Right, this is bad. Very, very bad. I think I'll just try resting. We can always use healing potions, so we're not in a bad place, but they keep all the machinery and mechanisms working in the dungeon. All but one that sits in the tunnels below. It needs to be repaired so we can leave this place. Only a little bit further. I wonder what I'm hearing. It could also be that they basically destroyed the machinery to keep something inside. So it's using us to try to escape. Wait, not our weapon. So this didn't serve any real purpose. Okay. Is there one more? Would be. Either it escaped or it came back. Well, if it's still here, it'll come to us. So we need to trigger these. Oh. At least it's a new place. I think we're in reasonable condition. How are you supposed to trigger these? Another skull. Pathway to the lower level. Is there an order this needs to happen in? It's basically block all of them, I guess. So it's a rhythm game. Mm. But we do have a pathway down. It seems like this is probably just a reward for something extra down. That's how these mechanical doors seem to work. Chitin boots. No use. Enchant fire arrow. Yeah, what a load of shit. Still, now we know. We still have a few mysteries left. There's a teleporter there. There's clearly something there. Maybe another teleporter. Maybe they're connected. They need to gain access to the other two can access to the other one. But these tend to be something that you can solve without going to other levels. So what have I missed? Here's a pathway to the right. Somewhere there. I don't know what I could do here. I can't get past these clearly. There's not even an option to close them. So it's the teleporter that's used. The only teleporter I call is here. I don't know how could I get past the torches. My only thing would be that properly choosing what doors to close and open here. You basically can put out a torch somewhere. I think that's a reasonable solution. I basically just tried to close all, open all. No particular sequence, and the sequence that worked was, I think, that closed, everything else open to open the secret door. I'm guessing basically what you should be doing, assuming it works, is maybe open a couple of these, close the others. Because if it's a draft, it probably works under some kind of a respectable logic, I'd say. So it's not total nonsense. Not a total random selection of doors. Flurry of slashes on the next level. Double attack speed with swords. That would be great. The sword is a fairly slow weapon. At least compared to daggers. Yeah, I don't get athletics. It's not like it's bad. The thing is, you're not going to be able to kill anything, no matter how many points you put in athletics. So I suppose you could use a ranged weapon, because they always hit, but the damage is gonna sort of suck though. You do get dexterity and strength, so maybe a thrown weapon? I don't know. It's not like I dislike the possibilities you have there, but I just don't see how that's a preferable choice. Right, I think I'll go give the draft option here a chance. It's a fairly long trip though, and there's no guarantee that it'll do anything, but the next level is the next level. I mean, that all, in every likelihood, it's basically game over as far as the secret is concerned. Either you do something about it now, or you forget it. Uh, right. That wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. There's no going back. Except maybe retaking this again. I mean, it has to go somewhere. Maybe even the area here. Nope. Still, interesting. One of our problems solved itself. So now that teleporter is the only problem. If it's a tougher place to reach, it's the better as far as loot is concerned. I have to think it's something to do with draft, because why otherwise even bring it up? seems like it functions fairly well as a hint to what to try to do there. Because otherwise, you could not get the connection that the door somehow could affect the torches. It makes no logical sense, except if there's a draft. Drafts blow out candles at least. So why not a torch if it's a good one? And considering how good this game has been as far as these little trickeries are concerned, I find it at least plausible. But what's the correct sequence? I'll open these two, close the others. Basically, try to think that there's maybe some kind of logic to it. I mean, I can't see it working any better if we just open these and create some kind of pockets that don't really lead forward. That doesn't make much sense to me. It could work. I mean, I have no idea what they are trying here. But I honestly don't see the logic behind that. And we're mainly interested in like one place. And we gain access here, you know. There's no telling that that's the correct sequence though. But something has to shut down. We did get the darkness spell here, but yeah, it shuts us off. Nothing else. If you're fast enough, you could catch from the torches. I'll try another sequence. It's only 4 switches, so there's not that many different things we can do with it. Right, they're still all burning. If I throw something, Bentley disappears immediately. If I fire a spell at it, I can probably fire a spell, but is it gonna do any good? No. So I got my rock back. Okay, what have we tried? Everything open, everything closed. That closed. That closed, everything else open. Both opened and closed. So maybe individually each one closed. And then pairs. Yeah, there just aren't that many combinations, no matter how I look at it. Don't exactly have a huge amount of confidence that this will work. Probably something else. I mean, you do learn the darkness spell here after all. I still don't see how I could apply it to any of the torches. Might be able to capture one of them, like before I get teleported away. Because if I go around a corner, you do get close. Maybe you could shut things down. Yeah, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work like that. Now I'm starting to severely lack confidence in this plan. I haven't actually paid attention to any of the torches beyond this, because that's the one blocking our way, but there could be other ways around it, like a switch. That's the fucker. Right. Some other way around it. How do we turn this off? Okay. Well, secret is a secret. So I don't particularly care about any not other the other business, as long as we found the secret, that's good enough. Throwing axes. Trust bombs. Right. Try one additional thing. If I go back into this teleporter. Right. Don't teleport into any odd places. And that's pretty much a wrap on this place. Okay. So my idea was nonsense, but we got there in the end. I'm actually surprised I didn't notice that button earlier. Usually I notice those fairly well, I think, at least. And I'm pretty sure I already stared at that wall at some point. I suppose that's not a bad thing to discover. It's uh, it's much worse to have overconfidence in your abilities to spot those things. Now I know that I can easily miss some too, so it mainly helps with, I suppose, with your morale if you get stuck somewhere, because you know you have a history of missing something like that. So just because you missed all the options you thought were there initially doesn't mean you're really stuck and that there's nothing there. Right, straight ahead and to the left. The book.